In the previous lecture, we learned about borders. In this lecture, we're going to learn about floats. Float property specifies that an element's edge should be placed at the edge of one side of its parent container. There's three values that can be used. Well, there's actually five of them, but three are fully supported. Left. This places the element on the left side of its parent container. Right. This places the element on the right side of its parent container. None. This will remove the float if it has previously defined with either left or right values. So we're going to start by removing the text here. I'm going to add this element will will be placed to either left or right. Okay. Now let's go to our CSS file and add div. I'm gonna add a width of 500 pixels and a height of 200 pixels. And I'm also gonna add a yellow background color. Okay. Okay, let's see what we have so far. Okay. I'm gonna add float, but before I do that, I want to show you something that you can see that the element is placed on the left side, and that is because that's the default style from the browser. Okay, so when we add the float property and we set this to left, there won't be no changes at all. Okay, you see there's no changes. If we add the right value there, then that should go to the other side. Okay, now if we set this to none, then it'll go back to the default style, which is the left side. Okay, now I'm gonna show you something real quick. When you can use the none or the left or right values, I'm gonna copy and paste um, 2 times. Okay, and to the middle one. Well, first let's check it out. Okay, we have 3 of them right here. Okay, now in order for them to be put up together, let's say we want these 3 to be together on the same row. Okay, for that we can just come here and set this to float left, and that's the way that you can put them together on the same row. Okay, the same thing if we change it to right, then that should go to the right side also. Now let's say we are targeting all divs in there. Okay, we are targeting all the divs that are on the document here. So let's say that I want to change the middle one. Okay, and I'm gonna float it to none. I'm gonna add a class, and I'm just gonna add float. Okay, and right here I'm gonna specify the class, which is float, and I'm gonna add float none. And remember that the float will only affect the middle div. So in fact, I'm gonna remove the text and I'm just gonna say this is the middle element. Okay, now let's check it out. And you can see that the right value from that div has been removed and it has been set to none. Okay, and the other ones are still floating to right, which is right. which is correct. Now, as I said before, these elements are placed on the right side, which are basically meeting the edge of its parent container. That is the body, okay? I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna create another div here. No, excuse me. Okay, and I'm just gonna copy the middle element, okay, and place it inside of the other div we just created. And I'm gonna get rid of these elements here. Okay, now let's go to our CSS file. I'm gonna remove the floating here, okay, and I'm gonna set this to. I'm gonna go for 800 and 400 for the height, a width of 800 pixels and a height of 400 pixels. Now I'm gonna remove the yellow background color, and I'm gonna place a border instead. I'm gonna add 2 pixels, solid color, and I'm gonna add black color. Now on the float, which is this element here, I'm gonna target this element. I'm gonna set these. I'm gonna add I'm also gonna add a width, 200 pixels, and the height of 200 pixels. Um, and I'm gonna add what else? A border, 2 pixels, solid, and I'm gonna add the red color. And I'm gonna float these to right. Okay. Okay, let's save it and refresh. Our element has been placed on the right side of its parent container. Okay. Now, if we float this to left, then it should go to the left side. If we set this to none, then it'll stay the same spot. Okay. Now, if we want to place this in the middle, the floating won't work, okay? In order for you to place this in the middle, you have to use the margin. As I showed you on one of those previous lectures, if you want to center the element, you have to remove the float, okay? So you have to use the margin, okay? And you can just add auto. That's all you need. Now, refresh, and there it is. That is working fine because we have set the float to none, okay? But if you set this to left, then it'll go to the left side, and the margin won't work there, okay? I mean, it won't center the element, okay? But of course, if you want to add space to all sides, then yes, it'll work, okay? It'll still be on the left side. Well, that is it for this lecture. In the next lecture, we're going to learn about font family.